Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Southern Dirt. My name is Summer and today I'll be walking you through my Central Florida Zone 9 garden. Now this video was filmed right before Memorial Day weekend. I know that was a while ago. We had one that graduated this year, we've had birthday parties and all the end of the school programs. We also took a 2-week vacation. So the next video and this video will be delayed a little bit, so I want to let you know that I will be posting an updated video here within the next couple weeks. So thank you for being patient with me. I also wanted to let you know about an amazing sale from GreenStalk Garden. They have a new color called Glacier Blue. I'm going to flash a picture of it. It's absolutely beautiful. I've got 2 on the way, but they're offering 25% off right now. You can also save $10 on top of that with code SD10. And I hope you guys like this video. I really would love to know what you're growing right now. In the summer heat, as I do this video, I just feel like my face melting. If you have any questions or you want to know where I get any of my products, you'll find all those links in the description below. So I can't wait to show you the garden. We've done so much work. The first thing we have done is put down mulch. And if you can see how beautiful the mulch looks on the ground, this is usually full of weeds, but we finally got a nice truckload of mulch here. Then I've got a different color mulch in my garden beds and in the actual garden here. I like that two-tone look. It really makes the garden pop. And I'm excited to show you that I got a new GreenStalk garden. Remember in my last video, I was hoping I'd get one for Mother's Day on the sale, and I did, so I can't wait to show you that. I also can't wait to show you the new watering system that I just installed in my GreenStalk garden. And as you can see, I've been doing a lot of rearranging over here in this garden to prepare for my other GreenStalk garden. And I wanted to ask you guys where you think I should put my next garden tower. Should it be over here in this garden? Or should I put it over here in the middle of these 2 GreenStalks? We think we're gonna put it right here in the middle, but I'm not sure. I would love to hear your suggestions. We might have to move these roses out of the way, but that's not gonna be too hard of an issue. But I will be unboxing this towards the end of the video to show you what that all entails. Over here in this garden, we have some cabbage, kale. We are getting towards the end of the season for cabbage. As you can see, we still have a little bug issue, but it's okay because we can still harvest this and eat it and wash off any of the bugs that are on our actual plants. Look at the purple flowers from my Queen's wreath that just fall over here. So pretty. Over here we have a zucchini plant. I plugged in some lettuce here. We've got a little blanket flower over here. I also have some dill back in here, along with my turmeric and ginger. My turmeric is starting to pop up right here. As you can see, this little sprig there. And I can't wait to harvest my ginger towards the end of the summer because this will be the first time I will be harvesting that. We've got our beautiful dinosaur kale plant here. We planted this 2 falls ago. It's kind of just turned into a tree. It's absolutely beautiful. If you have never grown kale, I definitely recommend it. Even though it may taste gross in the store, it's totally different when you grow it yourself. That was one mistake that I made in the beginning, is not planting kale. And it's been one of my favorite items from the garden. We make a lot of kale chips from it. Now over here, I gave my GreenStalk garden a haircut. Kind of trimmed it back for the summer. And I also replanted some new plants over here. I've got some, I planted some more fresh Siam tomato plants up top. They did so well through the season. And I know I'm planting in the heat of summer, but I'm curious to know if these will actually do well through the heat of the summer in the GreenStalk. So stay tuned for that. Usually we plant Everglades tomatoes around this time of the year, and I do have some in the garden, which I'll show you here in a little bit. I put some black-eyed peas down here at the bottom of the GreenStalk, added some more flowers. We cut back our lavender, sage, all of our herbs we cut back, even our pepper. It was just kind of getting overgrown, and I thought now's the time, since we were getting ready to replace some plants, just kind of make it all fresh and clean. And if you own a GreenStalk garden and it starts to look a little moldy, just like any type of pot will look, you can take any kind of mild soap and vinegar to scrub it. But since I had plants in mind, I just used a dry eraser and it made it like new. I did contact GreenStalk to make sure that was an okay option, and they said it would not damage the product. So I love that it looks all nice and fresh and new. And here is a game changer for your GreenStalk gardens. This is an automatic watering system. When you order it, it comes with a lid. You just pop on, and then you have the little pour spout here. You have a little toggle that you can gauge how much water you want going into your GreenStalk garden. It comes with these little clips and tubing to connect to a water hose, or you can connect it into your existing irrigation. That's what I'm gonna do. For this planter over here, on the other ones, I'm gonna put it on a different system that will go along with this Bluetooth timer. So that is sold separately, but this is gonna be a game changer because you can automatically set it to water once a day, twice a day, and for however long you want it to do, so you can go on vacation and not have to worry about watering and worrying about your plants dying while you're gone. So this is a huge game changer, and I'm really excited about that. Over here we have our butterfly pea vine. This has been really fun. I've been harvesting some of the seeds and sharing them with friends. Here's a little seed pod right here, and save them for next year. But I've been really happy with this vine. We have tons of flowers that we are saving for tea, like this one right here. Makes a beautiful colored tea. That is where my GreenStalk used to be, but now that I have it more centered, I can put more plants on it. Over here is our Vego garden bed. We recently harvested the carrots out of it. That was our last harvest. Over here I got it on the table. We have some kale in the front. I have a little dahlia that I transplanted more to the front. We have our Bonnie Best collard greens. It's one of my favorite collard greens to grow. They kind of grow more like a cabbage, and their leaves don't drop towards the ground. They're a little bit more hardier. I really like those. Look how beautiful and big they look. Over here we have some dinosaur kale. This is actually a blue dazzling kale. It's just real pretty. Has that purple and green tone that I love so much. I put a marigold in here, and these are our moneymaker tomatoes that have given us tons and tons of tomatoes, but we are at the end of the season. I just actually harvested all the tomatoes on these. We're about to head out on vacation, and wanted to go ahead and get those put away. And we look like we got maybe a few flowers, but we'll just kind of see how things go. But they're still holding up for the most part. So over here is our other GreenStalk garden, which I have the plant supports on. I grew peppers last season, and I've grown peppers every year gardening for about 7 years now. And I always grow them in the ground, and they just have never grown this good because I have them in this nice vertical garden. They're easy to stake because I don't have to worry about staking. I just let them hang over these supports, and they just grow so beautifully and healthy. It's so easy to harvest them. My kids enjoy harvesting them. They just grow so well. So I decided to plant more peppers in this GreenStalk, and it's definitely proving itself this year to do just as well as it did last year. These are banana or sweet banana peppers, which are my favorite peppers to grow. I also have, holy cow, I have some bell peppers, which I've never been able to grow successfully in the ground. But look at how nice those look. And as these get heavy, the supports will keep them up. I popped in another tomato plant, and I have my eggplant that's doing really well. Again, with eggplants, I don't have to worry about staking them. They just lay on these supports and do so well. And we've got some curly kale mixed in. I put some more tomato plants up top because those did so well. Got some more tomato plants. I also have some parsley in here, some cilantro, another tomato. Then I have some hot peppers here. Another tomato. And this garden is doing absolutely wonderful. Our roses are doing well as also. And over here is our strawberry tower. It could use a little bit of cleaning up, but I'm not worried about that. We haven't cleaned it all year. And this is kind of in a shadier area where we've got a lot of trees and leaves falling in this area. But the strawberries seem to be doing well. We've got some that are still budding. This was in its prime in April. Let's see, January, February, March is usually the prime time for our strawberries in our area. So if you're looking to grow strawberries, this is absolutely hands down the best product to grow them in, because you don't have to worry about them laying in the dirt or in the sand and having bugs munch on them. This is just a good vertical garden to go with. I'm gonna jump in and show you my butterfly garden over here. This has been really fun. I just sprinkled a bunch of seeds along here. We got all kinds of different mixtures of flowers. The kids have been enjoying cutting them and putting them in vases. Whenever we have people come and stay at our farm stay, which is right next door to the garden, they'll harvest a few and put them around the house there. We also have some zinnias here in the middle. I planted a pumpkin. I'm sorry, not a pumpkin. This is a sweet watermelon. We're gonna grow it right here in this whole big area. And here is my second successful cucumber that is growing. That's doing good. And then here are all of my southern collards that we've got growing here. And the leaves are just massive. I don't know if you can see the size of the leaves. And we have so many collard greens, and the leaves are just so big that we're using them to feed our chickens and our cows. So we'll harvest a nice grouping every day and take them down to our cows. And I've got my kale plant that we've had here that's turned into a tree here for since 2 falls ago. So that has been nice. The ones that we planted in the shade are the ones that have actually weathered our hot summers and have continued to grow. Anytime we plant kale, which I'll show you over here, in full sun, usually does not last through the summer heat and the bug pressure and disease, but it's okay because we always start new plants at the beginning of every year. So over here we have our mammoth sunflowers. We also have one here that is drying. As you can see, we have seeds that we are drying here. Hopefully the squirrels will stay off of it. And here's another one that opened up recently. Over here I had a trellis that we had to move when we were mulching. I'm just so excited and happy to have mulch. It just looks so pretty. I don't have to worry about weeds this summer. But we had to move it, and it kind of crumbled when it moved, so I don't think I'm gonna put it back out. But I did just plant my Seminole pumpkins. So they did really well last summer under this tree. Put in a marigold to kind of help with the bugs. But I'm also gonna show you the product that I was using to fertilize. So these are the pumpkins that are gonna go in our front yard food forest. What I always use before I plant any plant is I use Neptune's Harvest fertilizer. I've been using this since last fall, and it's been doing really good. They have all kinds of liquid fertilizers as well, and this is all I've used other than compost in the garden. So it's a nice product because it is all organic and natural. We throw a little bit of kelp meal in with our crab and lobster shell, and a little bit of compost. We go ahead and plant our plant, and then we water it in with any type of their liquid fertilizer. Today I'm going to be using their new product called Liquid Humate, and I'm excited about that to kind of get a good start with planting our plants this season and hopes for a nice harvest this fall. So here's the truck and gooseneck trailer that I took solo to pick up mulch. So if you haven't noticed or you don't follow me on Instagram, I've been kind of doing some day in the life, vlogging, quick videos of everything I'm doing in the garden and on our farm with our family. So if you want to follow any of that, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to do my best to kind of capture everything I'm doing in hopes that you can learn or be inspired to get out there and try something new. So I hope you guys that are already watching those videos like them, so please let me know. And look at how pretty this looks. Guys, my goal this year was to plant more flowers. And the flowers are beautiful and popping through the garden. I want to plant more, especially going into the summer when your plants start to look a little sick. It's nice to have those beautiful flowers mixed in there. So these are some zinnias, some of my favorite color I saved from last season. We've got some African blue basil that are great pollinators. I also planted some more mammoth sunflowers here to have them. I've been trying to get better about staging my sunflowers and different plants so we have something coming in at different times of the year. I also have another African blue basil, as you can see all the bees that it's bringing to the garden. We also have a really nice cantaloupe plant here. My middle child loves cantaloupe, and this is her plant, and she is managing it. And we're excited to see if we get any cantaloupes this year from that. I've got some chamomile planted here, along with some more of those Bonnie Best collard greens. I really need to take the bottom leaves off. If your leaves ever look like this around the edge, don't freak out. This is normal. You're supposed to harvest from the bottom up when you are harvesting your leaves. The chickens will eat that just fine. Compost will love it. So don't be afraid when you start to see a little bit of that on your plants. So over here we have some Brussels sprouts. I've never been successful with growing Brussels sprouts. These were started from seed, and my Brussels sprouts just look sick and rotting at the bottom. I've definitely had some struggles with bugs this season. If you go back and watch my other video, if you haven't, I share all the struggles that I recently had in the garden, getting poison ivy to having the deer eat all of my beans and chomp my sunflowers and so on. So make sure you go back and watch that. But it was hard to tend to the garden, so little things got behind. But I think we're starting to get back on top of things. I've got my dinosaur kale that are kind of turning into trees, but we're still able to harvest. Some more zinnias. And here is that blue dazzling kale that has that kind of purpley green look that I absolutely love. I also found a eggplant just growing in my actual compost bin. It looked so beautiful, so I decided I'm going to transplant it out here and see if it does well. I had to kind of remove some leaves from it, but I'm excited because there's already some flowers coming out there. So over here we have some beans. These are yard beans, and they're coming back a little bit at a time here from where the deer came and chomped them down. I want to show you yard beans basically grow into a yard. You want to try to catch them before they get a little bulgy like this. Here's one, it's real skinny, but I would say this is kind of your perfect size to harvest. Sometimes they'll get a little bulgy before they get into a yard. Like this is perfect. I would harvest this right now. So those are starting to come back even after our deer damage. I also have two comfrey plants on the end of this trellis. If you haven't watched any of my short videos, which I'm trying to put more short videos together for you guys, just like quick tips and things I'm doing in the garden. So if you haven't seen any of those, definitely go watch that. But I show you how I use my comfrey plant to turn it into free fertilizer from just the leaves and letting them seep like you would tea and using it as liquid fertilizer. It's been a really neat adventure to see that and kind of the blessings that God has already given us to fertilize our gardens with. So over here is my little metal raised bed here, a water trough that my husband brought home. This is our curly kale. This is one of my favorite kales to make into kale chips. It just makes a really nice chip. These we got last fall, and they're growing into a tree as well. But we're still harvesting tons of leaves from it. This is our African blue basil. It's grown so much since I cut it back the last video. We allowed some to stay in the back here, and I think this is arugula. I can't remember, but I recently planted some of that down there. I also wanted to show you what I'm using to help keep the bugs at bay this summer. You can get these products from Neptune's Harvest as well. I've been looking for a cold pressed neem oil, 100%, and they can be really expensive, but it is a nice organic product. I've used neem oil on my plants ever since I started gardening, but I'm really excited to get my hands on this cold pressed neem oil. So I'll be using this along with this other product, which I've never used. It's garlic burial. It's insect repellent, and it is supposed to keep any kind of leaf-eating, fruit, scarring, boring, sap-sucking insects away from your plants. So there's a whole big long list of bugs that it will help keep away. Plus, deer and rabbits don't like the taste of this. So if they bite your plant, they're most likely not going to come back. So excited to try that. All I'm going to do is mix it in my sprayer. And you guys can save 5% off of any of Neptune's Harvest products with my promo code. The link will be in the description below. Over here is our kids' butterfly garden. And I'm going to show you what is coming into the garden now, which I'm super excited to share. Look at this. Can y'all see that? Look at that. Oh, that's a different color than the ones we have in the side. So, oh yeah, look, okay. So we have two different kinds of monarch caterpillars. Look at this one. And we have two inside that are starting to pupate. We've took them and put them in jars, so we're really excited to kind of see the whole process. But this has been so fun. Here's our first plant, and the leaves are absolutely gone. So I'm curious to see if we get some pupas out here. Either way, we are putting some inside in a little jar to see them as the season goes. But this is a mix that I got from True Leaf Market, and I'll put the link to that product in the description below as well. And I think I've covered, oh, our Everglades tomato. This kind of keeps getting chomped and eaten by the birds. But Everglades tomato is going to produce through the summer, and they give these tiny little tomatoes. And it's just a great plant, and I do sell these as well, but I'm out of stock for the summer. But at the end of the fall, I will put my seed sales back up. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a great summer, and I will see you next time. I also wanted to thank you guys so much for supporting my channel and watching it over the years, buying the products that I love and use in my garden. Recently, I just became a top affiliate for GreenStalk Garden, which has been a huge achievement for me because I absolutely love their gardens, and it has given me an opportunity to help pay for things like dance classes and piano classes for my children, helps pay for all of our animal feed and everything we do here at our farm and garden. So I just want to send a huge thank you. Anytime you use my promo codes or click the links below in the description, you are supporting me directly. So thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. I hope to see you in the next video. So I promised you guys an unboxing of my new GreenStalk garden at the end of the video. Excuse the face, I've been working all morning on doing the video and just sweating, so I have no makeup on. But wanted to first show you the new lid that they have for the GreenStalk. This is with the watering system if you wanted to order that. We have our water reservoir. And this is something I had not purchased yet. This is the bottom spinner. Look at that. So you can actually put your GreenStalk on this and spin it. It's going to be a game changer to just harvest, and you really can just sit there and harvest in one spot. That's going to be nice. I also have two sets of the garden support system. They come in sets of 3s. got the little water discs here that you just put between each tier. I also ordered another automatic watering system because I want the watering systems for all my GreenStalks now, because I don't have to worry about watering them separately. They can just be on an automatic timer, and a huge game changer for GreenStalk vertical garden. They always send, oh, this is the new magazine. I can't wait to open it. They always send a nice instructional packet. And here's my tubing for my watering system. And here is the main part. For the tiers. Oh, I love how sweet. They always give a little picture of the person who packaged their product. GreenStalk Garden is such a great company. They're American-made, small business, and just such an easy, simple garden to manage.